So you want to know Megan Fox's type? What is she interested in? Who? How does she think? And that's going to be the first step here. She is a hustler, and from what I've understood, it may be difficult to. If you just met Megan Fox for the first time, you wouldn't know what to do. But when you look at the type of roles she plays in her past dating life, you can sort of understand who she is. She actually admitted to being a sex addict when she was like younger, and so I think what you can to understand here is sex is not a big deal for her. And she, I've seen pictures of her when she was younger. I think she was kind of like, she actually was kind of unattractive growing up. So I think this kind of also is something to think about too. Um, she, uh, she's a hustler. So she grew up, being around a lot of men, pursuing a lot of men, and this sort of developed into who she was. She wants to seduce men actually, and so she dated Shia LaBeouf. But you know, whenever you understand what happened with her and Megan, MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, I don't know why I said Megan, is that she actually went to his trailer after working with him, and actually was the one that initiated things. I basically went to his trailer and seduced him. And so even she plays these type of roles in movies too. And so with a woman like this, she's kind of interested in conquering men. I think like back to the beginning when she was kind of unattractive growing up. I think this was some psychologically where she wanted to develop and like go after men in a way. And you just have to understand that you can't change this about her. She's an awesome. I've seen interviews with her. She seems like a really awesome girl. But you also have to understand the way that her mind works. She wants to be the one that kind of like sex is her idea. Her pursuing you kind of becomes her idea. She doesn't want you smooth talking her. She doesn't want you. Also, she doesn't want you taking her out on some like romantic date either. I think this is the type of girl that like wants to go to bars, goes to environments where there's not as much focus on like her and you. Maybe until you know things progress, she'd be interested in that. But so she is has a sort of mentality where she's testing guys in a way. So she probably has a group of men that are around her that she may be interested in certain men. She probably has a guy that she's not dating that she actually is always like hooking up with because she doesn't think sex is a big deal, and as long as she sees this guy and his potential to be someone she can go after and will reward her with sex, then she's going to continue going after him. And that's the one key dynamic though, you guys. You have to make, you know, sexual experiences with you the reward for her to be interested in going after you. So that may be the most important part of the whole thing here is to continue to have her kind of working for your attention, have her kind of maybe continuing making sex her bringing that up, it being her idea, and just being around her, kind of leading her through like cool environments, going to the bar and stuff like that, just leading her through the situations and things like that with her together, and then give her the opportunity to try and seduce you, because obviously she has quite the, you know, I think sex drive, and this has happened. She dated Shia LaBeouf. That was just someone she was working around. She became romantically interested in him, and they dated for a while. But she actually doesn't have like a long record of dating people that I can see, because I think it was always just kind of like one fling to another with her, because as she said when she was younger, she was kind of like a sex addict because she was always interested in conquering other men, getting her power fix. So you really do have to make sure that you're not the one trying to smooth talk her. And we went over that. and she can spot weakness really quickly as she's trying to conquer men, and she doesn't want to conquer a weak man. Like, so a guy like MGK, who's been with so many girls probably and has so many girls interested in him, as soon as she sees that he's not really that interested in him, in her, she immediately kind of becomes interested. So if you're the calm, cool guy, a lot of times these girls will kind of pursue you. And what else here? Also, you do have to kind of reflect her personality in a way for her also to be interested. She's kind of a real. When she was younger, she was a realist, and I think so now too, where she's very well, she was acting a lot. She's very focused on her career, and so she would meet guys along the way that was kind of relevant to her career, had similar type of passions. And so if you can reflect that desire to improve your lifestyle or that realist type of mentality, then she'll become interested in you, because then it's more than just being driven to just have a family. She's actually pushed that aside as she has sort of pursued this career, and she's not as interested in having a family. But now she is a little bit more interested in having a family, because she is having a kid with MGK. But that for that long period of time, it was her career came first. I think right now it's kind of shifting a little bit, but because she does have that desire to have a kid, which most women do have that desire. And so just for the longest time, she pushed her career first. And so you have to have that sort of mentality too. If you have the mentality where you're really focused on the family and this is not the type of girl maybe for you. So, but obviously you could end up in the long term turning into something like that, because obviously MGK and them are having a kid. But remember, you have to sort of reflect her sort of calmness, her maybe not the seductive part of it, because remember, we want her to seduce you. The coolness, the ability to manage the tension that she creates, and you can see that she's actually a professional at creating tension on the movie screen. So I think that sort of personality kind of shows through to who she is, as she sort of seduces a lot of characters in movies in a way. I think that's why a lot of times actors will end up in roles similar to how they are. I think that a lot of her roles, her personality kind of shows through, and her ability to have this effect on men, make men weak and stuff. So this is probably one of the more difficult girls to even meet and turn things into a long-term, if you desired a long-term loyalty with her, she'd be difficult to keep. But once again, you have to always have that mentality that she's the one trying to earn your affection, and so you're not the one trying to buy her a dinner and trying to woo her or make her romantically interested in you. That sort of things are not going to work. And so just to wrap things up here, I wanted to show you guys one of her famous clips from Transformers 2, I think this is. I think they actually have a new Transformers movie coming up, and they're actually doing, I think it's Shia LaBeouf and her again, which was always, I think, the best Transformer. And honestly, her prime was in this movie, where she was just amazing. She seduced literally everybody in America and maybe everybody in the world in this movie. So as she actually plays more of a romantic in this movie, even though in Transformers 1, she kind of plays who she is, I guess. Is more of a seducer, more of a girl that's just out of most men's league. And then she sort of plays this role of being like romantically, you know, in love with Shia LaBeouf for the long term or whatever. Which obviously she has the capability of, and she did a really good job. I think she's actually a pretty decent actor, and I think she's a really smart person too. As much as, you know, we're kind of picking apart how she thinks, she probably would make me she would probably have a lot of things to say about this sort of understanding of her. She might pick it apart. She might deny a lot of the things. I think a lot of them are true, but she probably has a lot of other qualities that I didn't even reflect on. As we sort of kind of have a minute left here. Yeah, I don't think this type of person is someone that is out of anybody's league, really. You just have to really start really understanding people on that complex level. Start looking at the components of why she thinks the way she does. If she's, you know, geared towards having a family, or just geared towards career. Understanding these components is going to be huge. Understanding whether she's really interested in one-on-one eye contact, you know, the romantic type things, or more interested in, you know, just kind of vibing out and being part of the scene or whatever. And then whenever things become more one-on-one, maybe she'll be the one initiating it. So understanding these components are going to be huge. Understanding that, you know, sex is not a big deal to her. So if you make sex a really big deal, she may not actually be interested. She's a type of person that's really looking into someone that mirrors her sort of same, you know, personality. And there's going to be, you know, all kinds of different girls out there with all kinds of different types and all this. There's just so many different components to this. So yeah, you just manage what you can, and you just ask the right questions, and you'll have somewhat of a game plan in your mind of like not trying to pressure somebody too quick, and you're not trying to seduce a person like this, not trying to woo her, not trying to talk smooth or be a cool guy, but just be, you know, be authentic and just be not affected by the tension that she brings to an environment. So yeah, there's tons of girls like Megan Fox out there in the world. It's just Megan Fox is way out of everybody's league because she's, you know, super famous. There's girls like this that are similarly beautiful that are actually, you could actually, you know, get a girl like this. So there's not a girl out of your league as long as you can understand who she is and how she thinks, and I certainly believe that. So take this what you can. There's a lot of great components that you should probably start gearing conversations towards when you meet women, and try to learn this stuff as quick as possible, because you can learn this stuff without having to understand what her dating past is, and without having an idea of what she is on the movie screen. So it's completely capable, and on this channel, Plausibly Anything, you can check out a lot of different content where we're going to interview girls. There's been a few TikTok interviews we've done with girls, and there'll be more in the future, and there'll be more women like Megan Fox in the movie scene that we're going to do also. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Please ask a question. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this is just completely off, or if it's spot on. I would really appreciate the feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.